Hi everyone, Randall here with another video from Financial Reset. And today we're going to be talking about credit, one of the main key components in building wealth. But before I get into that, I want to explain what this channel is and what it isn't. First off, I'm not a financial advisor, nor will I be advising you on what investments to put your money into. I'm educating you and passing down the knowledge that I've learned over the last 2 years on my road to building wealth. And as I continue my road to building wealth, what I learn daily or weekly or whenever I learn it, I'll be bringing it directly to you. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Financial Reset. Hi everyone, hope you're enjoying your weekend. Today's Father's Day. I know you guys are probably out there firing up the grills, celebrating as we head into the work week tomorrow, Monday. Hopefully what you learned today, you can start implementing in your life tomorrow or tonight or whenever you watch this video. And as I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about credit today. So what is credit? Simply put, credit is borrowing money from a lender and agreeing to pay it back at a later time. Nothing more, nothing less. So the types of credit, you have revolving credit and you have installment credit. Revolving credit or your credit card, your department store credit card, your Amazon credit card, anything where there's a set maximum amount of money that you can borrow or potentially borrow, and you use some of that money and pay it back next month, but there's no, or the following month, but there's no end date to it. Whereas in the revolving or the installment credit, you have an end date or a final balance. So your installment credit is going to be things like your mortgage, your car payment, things like that, where your house may be $100,000, for example, and you know you have an end date to pay that $100,000 off, or your car, which may be $30,000, $40,000, and your end date is paying that $30,000 or $40,000 off. That's your installment credit. Now, the credit is made up of scores from three different bureaus: your Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Those are called the credit bureaus. There's three of them, and they don't work together. Each credit bureau is their own entities. So for Experian, you might have a 550 credit score. Equifax, you might have a 600. TransUnion, you might have a 650. So what I'm saying is, for each credit bureau, you can have a different score, and that's because, as I mentioned, they're all independently working on their own. So when you pay off your credit card or do things, they may report to certain credit bureaus and not the other credit bureaus. So it'll be your job to check in every so often with each credit bureau to see what's on your credit and what's going on with your credit, which is called a FICO score. Now, you can pay for this, or you can get one free copy from each bureau or from the bureau once a year. Or there's free companies out there such as Credit Karma. I can't think of the other one, but yeah, there's free ones out. You can Google it. But those, you want to be careful because those credit scores aren't accurate. They're more so consumer reports, whereas the FICO is more so for when you're going to buy a car, house, things of that nature. So again, you want to be careful with that, and you get what you pay for. So I would advise you just to go ahead and just pay for your FICO score to see what it is, so you can start building it, or if you already have good credit. But if you already had good credit, you 9 times out of 10 wouldn't be here watching this video. So speaking more so to the people that are trying to build your credit or have bad credit. Now, what makes up the credit score, or your payment history, your usage, your length of credit, new credit, your mixed credit, and things of that nature. So, little parts. So, no more water. But don't worry, we'll get through it. So, as I mentioned, the things that make up your credit history. You have your payment history, which makes up 35% of your credit score. So you definitely want to make sure you're making your payments on time when they need to be paid, and not paying them late or not paying them at all. You don't want that to happen. As I said, payment history is a big chunk of your credit score. Now, credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. And the rule of thumb is you want to use 30% or less of your max credit limit. So if your credit line or credit limit is $1,000, you want to use 30% or less of that. To take it a step further, you want to use 10%, and that's typically what I try to do. Use 10% of our maximum credit limit. It may help your credit shoot up faster and higher. per se. But, the rule of thumb is 30. Next is the length of credit. That makes up 15% of your credit score. Now, it's pretty self-explanatory. A person who's had credit for a year or two is not going to be equal as someone who's had it for 5 or 10 years. Their credit is going to be higher and more stronger. They'll be able to get more things versus someone with a 1 or 2 credit history or length. Not saying it can't be done. It's just, highly unlikely. But the next thing, moving on, is new credit. That makes up 10% of your credit score. How are you able to get new lines of credit? New credit cards, a loan, mortgage, things of that nature. New credit makes up 10% of it. Last but not least is mixed credit. That makes up another 10% of your credit score. Lenders typically don't want to see that you have just credit cards. They want to see a combination of things, that you had a credit card, financed a car before, maybe a mortgage, had a loan before. And the reason behind that is you may be able to get, even though your credit is low or whatever, you might be able to get a car or a house faster than you will be able to get a new credit card. Because if you default, what's going to happen? You have hard assets or hard things. So the lender on that hard asset is, well, we all know a car is not an asset, but on that hard asset or item, the lender is able to take it. You don't pay your car payment, you're going to get repoed. You don't pay your mortgage, you're going to get foreclosed on. With a credit card, they can't really do too much, but just cut the credit card off and take the loss on the money. So you want to keep in mind to have mixed credit and apply for different credit and things of that nature. So as I mentioned before, you got the payment history, the utilization, the length of credit, the new credit, and the mix of credit. So, one other thing I want to mention is something called hard inquiries. So each time you go to apply for new credit, the lender is going to look at your credit score and look at things as far as your score, payment history, things of that nature before they make a decision upon if they're going to lend you that money or if they're going to give you that mortgage or car payment, things of that nature. So if you're applying for new credit, don't go crazy and try to apply for 3 different credit cards or loans, things of that nature, because hard inquiries can hurt you, and I believe they stay on your credit for 2 to 3 years before they fall off. So just something to keep in mind before you watch this video and rush out there to try to build your credit or get credit. And something I'll leave you with, a little bonus. So if my credit were bad, if it was 550 below, something like that, how would I go about starting to rebuild my credit and boost my credit up? What I would do is, or what I did do, matter of fact, it's not a question of what I do. I'm going to tell you what I did do along those lines. So I got a secured credit card. I put $200 down on that, maybe $100, something like that, but I put money on it. It was a secured credit card. And the difference between a secured credit card and an unsecured credit card is, one, you put your own money up, and one, you just coming out of the gate using the lender's money. So I would get the secured credit card. I made my payments for, I believe, 5 or 6 months consecutively. And what I would do was I would take my credit card, fill my gas tank up, and use it again until the next month, and just repeat that process for 5 or 6 months. And I would fill my tank up and just, $20, $25 to fill my tank up. And I would just pay that off the following, well, back then it was a little more, but this is using that as an example. Then back then I would just pay it off the next month for 5 or 6 months in a row. Then they turned my credit card over to secure or unsecured. Sorry about that. And they gave me my money back, and I was playing with the bank's money or the lender's money. And then I was continuing to pay my credit or make my payments every month. Then after that, I asked for a credit increase. I got a 500 credit increase, and then I did the same process over. Then 6 months later, I applied for a new credit card. Did that process halfway. Then I got a loan, so on and so forth. So that's how I built my credit up, and that's how I would advise for you to start. So if you got something out of this video, you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Every Sunday, you can check me out here at Financial Reset for a new video. Wednesday, I'll be going live on the Instagram page, Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, Financial Reset Instagram page. And as it was nice educating you guys. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully you guys got something out of this. See you next time. Financial Reset. Hi everyone, Randall here with another video from Financial Reset. Today, I'm going to be going over credit as it is one of the... cut. Hi everyone, Randall here from Financial Reset.